Hi, dear Scorpio. To all of my sun, moon, and rising signs, Scorpio, this is your message for Gemini season. Everybody's a Gemini, including you, dear Scorpio. So I haven't done these videos in a while that everybody's a sign, including you. And I felt inspired to do those today. And so, Scorpio, this is your message. I am Ankhi for those of you who don't know me. For those of you who have known me for some time, you may also know me as Mama Tonya. And so again, this is the Scorpio message for Gemini season. So, dear Scorpios, Gemini, no matter what your sun sign is, right? We're all in Gemini season. And for Scorpios, generally speaking, Gemini is in the 8th house. Now, if you know your own personal chart, or if I've looked at your chart and I put Gemini somewhere else, that's because that's specific to you, and that just adds another layer to the magic of Gemini being in your chart, dear Scorpio. But generally speaking, Gemini is in the 8th house for Scorpios, especially Scorpio rising. And so the 8th house is a place, Scorpio itself really loves the 8th house. So the 8th house is a place of mystery, dear Scorpio. It's a house that's really very much tied to your sign. And so Scorpio, the 8th house is a lot about mystery. It's about your deepest secrets, or the deepest, truest part of yourself that you may not show to everyone. So it's where you feel most vulnerable, and not necessarily in a bad way. It's just like if you were naked, if you were exposed, right? Even if you were with someone who's seen you naked before, I don't know, it's a good example, but it's still you exposing the parts of you that everybody doesn't get to see. And so the 8th house is a house of the hidden parts of you. The hidden parts of you could be physically that people don't see, like in the example I just used, or generally, or more spiritual or mental, like your deepest thoughts, the things that you might write in your journal, right? What the parts that are private and hidden. It's also kind of one of those karmic kind of houses. So if there are debts that are owed to you, or if there are debts that you owe to other folk or other organizations or businesses, right? The 8th house is the kind of the place that kind of calls those debts in, right? To say, time to pay up. So Gemini being there, dear Scorpio, and Gemini being a sign of information, communication, expression. This could be a time for some Scorpios where you are receiving information about either something that is owed to you or something that you owe, or just information of something coming kind of full circle, or something, or even because Gemini is one of them kind of has a gossip energy to it. Not all Geminis are like that, but there's something about that talking, right? Gemini energy likes to talk and share the tea, right? And so, dear Scorpio, this may be a time where you're in conversations where you're receiving some tea, where you're getting some information. This could be helpful to you. This is up for you to judge, because I feel like with it being on the 8th house, it could be like even something you didn't ask for, but for whatever reason, it's revealed to you. Somebody just says it in a conversation, or you just happen to read it in a book, or something comes in the mail that kind of gives you information that you would not have just caught any other time, or information that maybe was secretive or only for certain eyes. And what you do with that information is up to you. If it comes to you. But again, Gemini energy, though, dear Scorpio, is there's a playfulness to it. I don't know. There is a playfulness to Gemini energy, but in this moment, I feel that I should also add, sometimes Gemini energy is talking all the time. And then at some point, their words are called to the karmic floor, right? And so even though Gemini could be playful energy, dear Scorpio, for you this season, it may not be just all playful. It could be, or where I might talk more about this in the extended. There is a link to get the extended to this, so make sure you get that. But it could be where there's been something kind of playing around for a while, and now it's just called to either be done, or I don't know how I want to say it, where it's just being called to judgment. You know what I mean? It's just being called to, the karma on that is coming around. And karma is not all bad. I know sometimes people use karma in that way, but karma is just reaping what has been sown, right? And so this could be a season for you, dear Scorpio, where you are reaping what you have sown, but also reaping what has been owed to you in some kind of way. And this may come in the form of some kind of information, or hearing something, or being privy to something. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, gosh, just Scorpio in 8th house is already deep. And I want to be like Gemini quick with the info, but I feel like it's definitely something deeper here. So I will share that in the extended of this video. And so I will close this version out. But if you would like the extended message, definitely make sure, if you're a Scorpio and there's more here, because I'm going to record the extended right now and upload it for you. So make sure you go to the link that is below, the Linktree / the Tonya Poole, and go to the shop and download the extended version of this message. Is for a very small love offering if you feel called to do so. The remainder of this message will be there. Also, I have Portals to Power. That's my new e-course, Portals to Power, which just launched about a week ago. And so Portals to Power is an e-course that is for those who are at the crossroads of being who they used to be, and really stepping more fully into the magic and the power of who they are, who you were called to be here in this world, in this physical form. Like, who did you come here to be, right? And so Portals to Power is here to help you to do that in a very easier way that is not scary. Because sometimes when we're passing the baton to our higher selves, and to our next level, our leveled up self, it can be kind of scary for the version of us who we are now. And so Portals to Power is to help you to do that. And dear Scorpio, what I did was, when you go to the Portals to Power link, there is a way to listen to the introduction to the full e-course absolutely free. And so the introduction to Portals to Power is about a 30-minute class that you can listen to absolutely free. And then if you feel that Portals to Power is for you and you are being called to enroll, then make sure you go ahead and enroll now, because it is at the introductory price, and it will be at the price that you see there today. It'll be there until June 10th. And so you want to make sure you get that now while it is at that price. All right. So that is it for my dear Scorpios this Gemini season. Make sure you get the extended to this message. And until we speak again, I am wishing you so much peace and love.